G'day and welcome back to Shave It Down Under. I'm Doug. It's a Friday here in Australia. Today we're going to shave with a shaving cream which I haven't used before, and it's Arko. So I'm pretty sure some of you out there have shaved with it, and probably if you live in Australia you probably haven't. Who knows? Today's blade will be the standard Derby Extra, which I haven't shaved with one of these for a long time, but I know a lot of people out there do. From memory, it's not my favourite blade. I actually do prefer the Derby Premium, but it's always good to revisit, and I've got this laying around. And today, razor is a vintage Gillette, and it is a Richwood, the new Richwood, and from the early 1930s. That is not the correct blade bank, but we'll talk a bit more about this razor as I shave. So there's the tube, and you can see there that I haven't used it before. As you'd expect from a cream, it's whipped up very easily. See in the bowl there, scoop it out, lovely. Using a Teton Shaves brush today, and the scent, I actually quite like it. It's got a soapy scent to it, but there's also some masculine soapy scent. Quite nice, bit of a burnt tobacco in it. Just whipped it up a bit more, try to make it a little bit thicker. May have added a little bit too much water, but that's not too bad. Got soap flinging everywhere. Rightio, so this is a two-piece razor, which I didn't realise until just then. So there we have it. So the plating, this was silver. The plating has well been used, rubbed away. You can see a lot of brass coming through on the top cap and on the handle. So we'll pay special attention to this handle in a moment. So I've never shaved with this razor before. Straight off the bat, I like the thickness of the handle. So it's obviously open comb. The Derby blade is performing well with the grain. So on Wednesday, the past Wednesday, I went to work and handed in a handwritten note saying that I was no longer available to work Monday to Friday. And the boss was very non-emotional, which isn't a surprise because we think the fellow is on the spectrum somewhere. He's in his early 50s, and they're probably around 53. And yeah, totally unemotional. And I just said in the letter that I was cool to work on Sundays, alternating Sundays. But the shift is to be no longer than 5 hours. Which makes it easy for him because coming into winter now, or towards winter now, and Sunday shifts are just a 5 hour shift. No, I just said if that wasn't satisfactory enough, then I just thanked him for the past year's employment. And later in the day, I saw him messing around with the rosters on his laptop, and it appeared he'd kept me on a Sunday shift in May, so we'll see what happens there. Rightio. So a bit of a history lesson for the Gillette Richwood. So this handle here is pretty much, from what I can see on the Mr. Razor website, so if you're a Gillette collector or just interested in vintage Gillettes, MrRazor.com. It is the Bible for Gillette. So from what I can see on the website, this handle is just a one-off. Which I find very interesting, because this was the earlier Richwood, so this is the new improved Richwood. And I'll show you underneath as well so you can get an idea. So it's got the two prongs or two teeth that stick down, whereas here we've got the flat base. If you take away that teeth, I believe that would be the Tech Hybrid base plate, but I'd have to check into that. So this handle here was very common, whereas this handle, as I said, I believe it's just a one-off. So with the new improved handle with the diamond-shaped knurling, that was used with countless razors, and I'll list them off for you. So it basically, it was just a common handle, was used in, so for the new improved with the two prongs through it, it was used in the Deluxe, the New Standard, the Aristocrat, the Bostonian, the Traveller, the Algonquin, and the Cavalier sets. So it was a handle that Gillette got a lot of mileage with through the 1920s. They then used it through the new period. It's a bit confusing. The new improved is the 1920s, the new is the 1930s. You would have thought, naming that, it would have been the other way around. You would have the new in the 1920s and the new improved in the 1930s, but no. So through the new period, through the 1930s, they also used the handle in the Belmont Deluxe, the Deluxe Criterion, the New Traveller, the New Deluxe Traveller, the New Deluxe Prototype and the last one is the New Deluxe Prototype for specially notched blades. And if I remember, I'll put a link into the description for the Mr. Razor website. On the base plate, it's got the comb, the teeth, but then it's got some notches evenly spaced that stick out where the blade was actually made with notches in it, so it would slot in, almost like a safety razor today. The cartridge, you've got that bit of wire that goes across it over the blade. So this blade, instead of being, as we know, these blades to be flat straight across, not inventing but just experimenting with, had notches in it, so it would sit into the teeth on the base plate. So that sounds confusing, but I'll leave a links for you to click on, or maybe I'll put it, impose it over the top of here. That's what I'll do, so you can see what I'm trying to tell you, and it makes sense. So far with this razor, it's been quite a keen shave. Quite well balanced. It's a heavy handle, but the head is quite heavy as well, so it's nice to shave with. It's easy just to let the handle use it, do all the, or the weight of the razor do the work. Just getting in that neck just in there. It's always been bothersome for me, and I guess for a lot of fellas out there. For whatever reason, I always shave better on this side. I don't know if it's because of the backhanded technique I'm using. It just gets a nicer angle. Yeah, I'm not real sure at all. So when I do the wrap up, I'll also show you some things about the Richwood case that if you're looking to collect, some things you've got to look out for. Just nicked myself. That was my error. Again. Oh, it's turned into Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, so I've had a good shave, except for that little weeper there, which I'll take the blame for that. Some of the other little nicks which are now just healed up, just sealed up naturally with the cold water. That was the blade. So I'll just go through, if you want to collect, or you're collecting Richwoods, or you may have a Richwood at home. First off, that is not the correct blade bank. For both the new and the new improved, this is the correct blade bank. And they probably all have the little diamond logo there. Obviously, with the new, you've got your diamond handle, the two prongs there, sort of a bit of a flat base plate. So pretty easy to distinguish. Now the thing that slips through to the keeper, and you'll see this on lots of Richwoods that come up for sale, even if it's just the case. So if we look inside the case, there's a little piece of wood there, and up the top a curved piece. Now in a lot of cases, one or both of those are missing, and even if one is missing, the razor will not sit properly in the case. Like it'll lay down there, but there's a lot of bounce. So these come unglued over through age and fall out, and a surprising number of Richwood cases have one or both missing. That is the most important thing to look for when you're collecting these cases. Number two. God, that thing's just not stopping. Number two is, so the colour of the printing should match the colour of your razor. Now this is correct probably the majority of the times with Gillette. So if that printing is silver, you're going to have a silver plated or a nickel plated razor inside. If the printing is gold, well then the razor inside and the blade bank will be gold plated. So that is also something to look out for, because a lot of people out there sell razors. Some are they've just found it like that, put it in, sell it. They're not razor people. They're just people on eBay who flip things. They go to auctions, deceased estate auctions, buy stuff, and then buy boxes of stuff and then flip on eBay. But you will get the scallywag razor seller out there that will it won't happen. It probably won't happen with this handle, but with this handle, especially with the new, they'll just put a silver in with a gold and etc. So the colour must match. The other thing with this handle, these are hard to find. So if you see one of these on eBay or through an auction site or even in an antique place, and the box is not in good shape, it's missing those little slots there, just buy it. Because, as I said, I don't think they use this handle in anything else. There are other handles that look similar, but they're not the same. So if you see one, grab it. Look at that blood. My God. Sorry about that, people. All this blood streaming out of me. It's a bit of a cut. So just buy it and you'll find if these come up on eBay and they're an auction and the serious collectors get wind of it, they will bid these up to quite a high price than the standard Richwood, the new, which is common. They're common, very common. The ones on eBay at the moment, Australian eBay that you can see, they're all international. They're overpriced, way overpriced, by at least $100 each one of them. You see one of these, buy now and it's cheap. Just grab it, ask questions later. But cross-check the handle on Mr. Razor first. Rightio, this thing ain't sealing up. And it doesn't look like much of a cut, but it's just not playing the game. Now, I don't think that Allen block will do much. I think it's too much of a cut. Anyway, I'll just quickly throw on some balm and wrap it up. The Arko cream. What I like about this cream, easy to lather, which all creams are, and the scent. I think the scent was really nice, a masculine scent that I think the average fella will enjoy. What I didn't like about this cream is the residual slickness just wasn't there at all, and I just think there are better creams on the market, and probably the best budget cream on the market is one you can find in Woolworths or Coles. It's just buried on the bottom shelf. It's about $2.50, and it's much better than this. Interesting soap if you can find it out there and you find it cheap, but I personally would not recommend it. Well, I'm going to wrap up before I bleed to death. Thanks for sticking around. Just hit a like, leave a comment if you so desire. The Derby blade, I won't be showing with this one again. As I said, I prefer the premium, a much better blade. Okay, I hope you all have a good weekend. I've got some unboxing videos to come up as I keep bleeding, and I'll put them up soon as well. Okay, ciao for now.